to touch the life of very ordinary people. And you know, the stock market is extremely important in sense of stability of a market economy. And in Nigeria today, the market is patronized not only by rich people. I have seen students who have shares. It could be one share, it could be two, but they are already cultivating the culture of investment, of entrepreneurship, of savings, etc.
Governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole. Now looking at other matters here, latest data from the Central Bank of Nigeria shows that the nation's external reserves as of September the 22nd grew by $20.26 million to $39.6 billion from $39.58 billion a month ago. Analysts attribute the increase to a slower drawdown by the central bank to defend the local currency, which closed at 162 naira 55 kobo to the dollar at the interbank forex market yesterday. The naira has remained stable at around 161 and 162 naira to the dollar on the interbank market, and 155 naira 75 kobo to the greenback on the official window. For the same period in 2013, reserves stood at $45.82 billion. And the naira hit a two-week high of 162 naira 65 kobo against the dollar yesterday, after the central bank sold the greenback directly to lenders to support the local currency. The local unit closed at 0.76% firmer compared with the previous day's close of 163 naira 90 kobo per dollar. The naira has been falling for the past 2 weeks, weakened by the impact of the decline in global oil prices and low offshore inflows into the debt and equity markets. And talking commodities now, crude oil price recovered from its lowest in over 2 years today, but abundant supply continues to weigh on the market. Brent for November delivery eased to 19 cents to $96.76 per barrel after hitting $95.60 yesterday, its lowest since July 2012. U.S. crude slipped 15 cents to $92.65 a barrel.
Away from business news, it's more trouble for the Islamic State militants as the United States-led coalition has hit their oil refineries, or rather the ones controlled by them, in Syria in a strike against ISIS. The refineries are thought to generate as much as $2 million a day in revenue for the jihadists.
Well, a third night of airstrikes by the coalition killed 14 ISIS fighters. U.S. President Barack Obama has vowed to dismantle the ISIS network, which has seized large areas of Syria and Iraq in recent months and controls several oil fields.
French President François Hollande has strongly condemned the beheading of a French tourist in Algeria, Hervé Gurdel, by ISIS-affiliated terrorist Jund al-Hilafa. The jihadists killed the Frenchman by decapitation after threatening France to stop airstrikes on Iraq. Speaking at the UN General Assembly, Mr. Hollande said France is going through an ordeal through the murder of its citizens, but France will never give in to blackmail. The fight against terror must be stepped up. He said French airstrikes, which began last week on ISIS targets in Iraq, will continue.
Our sports news here starts at the bottom. That's the grassroots levels, as officials of the Lagos Junior League have promised to make the grassroots football program more productive. At the third annual general meeting, members of the board say the focus for the upcoming season is to discover young talents that can feature at the national under-17 team.
The local government also pledged to give support to the league and encourage youth in their different communities to take part.
The local governments are ready. They've always been there. We must appreciate what they've been doing because they are the main pillar of this junior league, and they believe in what we're doing, and they are ready to continue to support Lagos Junior League, and that's why we are having this third annual AGM, and they've committed themselves toward the success of this league. We just started over 3 years ago. We still have 1 or 2 problems here and there. We need a better pitch for the players. We need facility for the medicals. We need various support to the player. Insurance, players' insurance, we are looking at that so that those who sustain injury can always get a form of compensation or medical care. These are some of the things we put together to see that this 2014 season should be a better year than what it was last year.
And Nigeria striker Osaze Odeyingwe says he is hoping to return as a stronger player after undergoing successful knee surgery. The 33-year-old suffered the problem in Stoke's 1-0 win at Manchester City at the end of August, which saw him miss out of the Potters' 25-man Premier League squad. But despite the setback, the former West Brom forward believes he'll return a better player sometime in January. Osaze scored 5 goals in 15 Premier League appearances for Stoke last season after joining from Cardiff City. With less than a day to the 2014 Ryder Cup teeing off at Gleneagles, Europe's talisman Ian Poulter says he's pleased to be the target of the Americans. Earlier this week, Team USA captain Tom Watson said his players will be looking to minimize the Englishman's impact on the matches. Over his career, Poulter has a 12-3 record in his 15 games and has been on the winning side in 3 of his 4 appearances in the event. He inspired Europe to the title in 2012.
Take that as a compliment. Being able to deliver for my team and help get us over the line, I'm very proud of. And I guess I take Tom Watson's comments as a huge compliment to me as a player, to someone that has, loved the Ryder Cup, and for someone, like Tom, as accomplished as he is, to pay me that compliment is amazing.
And now to motorsport. NASCAR driver Tony Stewart has been cleared of any wrongdoing in the death of Kevin Ward Jr. A grand jury in upstate New York did not find sufficient evidence to go forward with second-degree manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide charges against the 43-year-old. Stewart hit Ward during an August race after his younger rival jumped out of his car.
In questioning all of the witnesses and reviewing all of the evidence, the grand jury has determined that there is no basis to charge Tony Stewart with any crimes. His case was therefore no-billed by the grand jury. There is toxicology evidence in the case relating to Kevin Ward that actually indicated that at the time of operation he was under the influence of marijuana. There was no toxicology work performed on Tony Stewart. However, a certified drug recognition expert had interviewed him on the night of the collision and determined that he found no basis to observe any alcohol consumption or impairment by drugs.
That's it on Sports News.
And you're struck at this hour. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maokwe Ogun.
I'm Olumide Macaulay. Please stay tuned for Question Time.